then was Sarah Nell. Everybody called her Nell. She hated the name Sarah. So there was Nell. And then there was Walter. And then there was Worth. And then there was Reed. So these were 2 sisters and 3 brothers. And so people here are all representing all of these people, except we don't have anybody physically here. The only one we don't have is anyone from Worth. But I have a letter from Barbara, which I will read, because she couldn't be here. Right?
It's nice that Worth has his ear.
Yeah. Worth lost his ear in an automobile accident. I think. Yeah. So anyway, so you can take a look at this. This is the. So we're going to kind of do this according to the brothers and sisters. Okay. So and by starting from the oldest down to the youngest.
Oh my God.
So the oldest was my mother, Mariella, and so who is here? Come up on up is me,
Tamara, Taylor.
and these are my 2 children.
And Sylvia's side.
This is Taylor.
And Sylvia's.
He's my youngest.
No, but y'all, the family.
Yeah.
And Sally here.
And well, we haven't got there yet.
Okay. All right.
This is me, and this is Tamara, right? And they're not here, but let me have them tell you about their spouses and and Jack. We'll get you up here too, because and tell you about their spouses and children. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
I'm married to Vince Kelly, so my last name is Kelly. And I have 2 children, Tanner, who is 28, and a daughter, Paige, who is 22. And I know, And we live in Texas, near McKinney. We live in McKinney. Our son lives in Plano, close by. What else? My daughter's engaged to be married next year to wonderful fiance Cody, and what else?
They're all just doing really well.
Yeah.
They're very good. Taylor.
Yes, so my wife is Nikki. We met in medical school in UC San Diego, and we traveled out to Texas for our training, our residency, and stayed there pretty much ever since. I've got 3 children. I've got Tyson, who's at Texas A&M in college right now. He's 20. And then I have Torin, who's 17. He's about to graduate from high school, and he's going to go to Texas A&M. And then I have Naya, and she's 13, and she's about to start high school. And I'm the one who dragged all these guys out to Texas.
Yes. My husband's work moved us to Texas, and then Mom and Dad followed us, so we all ended up in Texas.
And
he's from Southern California.
And then we did too.
And then they did too.
And
And
so
they came too.
And my husband was
your fault.
huge, but my husband, we were married for 52 years, love of my life, but he passed away in 2019. And of course now we're at Mariella, and Jack
Right?
was
So
her
y'all-
son, and that's his picture, so take a look. And this is Sylvia's, his wife, and there's quite a few of them in the Jack side here.
Yes,
So
well,
go
now
ahead.
you, Terry, right here. I was
So,
gonna say, where'd they
so
go?
go ahead.
So Jack and I were married for 4 days, that's 66 years.
Wow.
And we had 2 children, and we had Jerry, a lot of you knew Jerry, and we had Terry. And Terry has, her daughter is here, and she has 3 children.
Stand up.
Yeah.
So we have, Jack and I have great
Great-grandchildren, there's 3 of them right here, these boys, these lovely boys.
Oh, yeah.
And then Terry's husband Ty.
Great job.
Good job.
And Alice's wife, Anne.
And then Robbie is not here, he's in the Navy, he's in training right now.
Virginia.
Brittany?
Yeah. So a big group.
Yeah,
Okay.
so everybody, we had.
And then we have Sally, who is my sister, and Jack, oh,
We're still on Mariella, I'm sorry, yes, Sally.
Sally.
Oh, yeah.
Mariella's other daughter, Sally, and with her is a contingency today. Yes, you can sit down. Okay, Sally,
this is my daughter-in-law, Laura, and David.
Right
Right
behind
behind you on the other side.
Is her son,
He's right behind you, Dane is right
and Dean,
Right
their
here.
son, is
Dean's
right behind.
you.
Oh,
And
okay.
Dean, you're a junior, right?
Sophomore.
Sophomore.
And he's wanting to go to college too. The first time he even spoke, he said, "I'm gonna be president."
Okay.
Heaven help us all.
So the next oldest of the 5 siblings was Nell. And Marianne and Ty, come on up.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna stand right here.
You know what, Ty? You look like Uncle Bob the best. And I love
So Ty is the oldest. Oldest.
Still has all of his hair.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about your family.
I was born and raised, and here I am. I have a biological daughter, and I have a stepson and a stepdaughter. And Mary is my wonderful wife. Right now, she takes care of me, but right now I'm taking care of her. She's got me vacuuming, making beds, putting bras on, washing hair, helping her with everything.
Everything.
But now she's doing pretty good on her own, so I'm not helping her as much. So one of her son, my stepson, is now in Fort Lauderdale. He's a successful building contractor, made lots of money, doing really well. And I think they're going to stay in Fort Lauderdale. But right now, everything's so expensive there, he's going to wait and see what happens to the real estate market. And then my youngest daughter, Tracy, she's from up in Nevada, and right now she's doing medical coding for it's a national company, and she works at home and does medical coding. She was a bartender for years, and she dealt cards for years, and became a medical coder, which she likes a lot. And Dawn, my stepdaughter, she's living in Temecula, California. They've been very successful. Their husbands, they've made a lot of money, and they live on big property, a big house, and all that kind of stuff. But she don't talk to me anymore. Other than that, so that's the family.
I knew there was
I
a
know it.
reason why.
I'm the better half of the siblings of,
Here.
of Nell Ballard, or Nell Hearn. She always signed her checks Nell Hearn Ballard. She's real proud of the Hearn name. And loved her siblings, loved her sister and her 3 brothers. And every time we got together at the farm, the ranch, or wherever we were, they laughed and told stories and kidded each other. And it was a really great family to be around. And I have one spectacular daughter whose name is Carrie. She's superb. And,
I like this woman.
since COVID, she's worked at my house, so we have to get along because we're right there, And then she married a phenomenal man named John Washington, who ran for mayor of Scottsdale because he loves Scottsdale. You'd think he was the neighbor. He loves Scottsdale, and he flies planes, and he really loved Mac, Bonnie's dad, because he flew, and Jack flew. Ty flies planes, so they had a lot of. Do you fly?
I lived in Scottsdale.
Is that right?
1980.
Okay, see, I didn't know that. So, they have one child, is spectacular too. I call them my grand person because they're grand. And that is Spades, Washington.
Hi. Spades is the videographer.
Yes. And we pretty much lived in Arizona. Well, I lived a little brief time in Wickenburg. My ex-husband was a teacher though, and finally we moved into Phoenix and Scottsdale. So we've been here the whole time. And I worked for like 33 years at the phone company because of Bonnie, my cousin, who put in an application when we were both going to college. And she knew I was looking for a job, and she said, "Can my cousin take this test too?" And they said, "Well, okay." And so I went,
all the people failed except for Bonnie and I. Because we're smart.
That's a fact. When they
Well,
graduate,
she went on to bigger and better things, but I stayed with the phone company. But I've been retired now for like 25 years. So anyway, it's been a good ride.
Are you enjoying your retirement?
I am enjoying the quail in my backyard, the lovebirds in my backyard,
But not the
the
ducks.
ducks in the swimming pool, which John and Carrie have to lead to the green, what is it called?
Greenbelt.
Green
It's
belt.
not great.
It's not great, yeah.
You don't want ducks in your pool.
Ducks in your pond.
Oh, but they were so cute.
Okay,
Good job, Mom.
next oldest was Walter.
Oh, yeah.
And we need the Walter contingency, and there's a lot of them here. Come on up.
All of us?
Yeah. Come on.
I'm glad this kid
Come on, Walter
made it.
contingency.
They kicked him off the top. Yeah, there's a kid that came around. We made it. It's alive.
I know, it's a miracle.
Okay. You are the oldest.
It's been tough.
So
You
start.
I know what you're saying.
These are, I had 3 children.
Scale first.
Gail,
Thanks for that.
and my dad was Walt. I had 3 children. My oldest son is Eric, and he is taking over running Trout Haven for us. So he is the new leader of Trout Haven. And then I had Annalise over there, and then Andrea right here. Annalise is an educator, PE teacher, and history teacher, and she is a nurse that survived COVID. And this is my oldest grandchild, Harley, and her sister, Kimber. They both came with us. We kind of had a girls' weekend plan.
Oh, I think that's
That was great. And then I have a total of 8 grandchildren, and so 2 boys and 5 girls. So we have a lot of fun, a lot of fun. We're all rural. We all live in the country in northeastern Oregon, and well, even she's a lot of fun.
I live in Idaho.
So where are you trying to go?
But I am trying to move home, yes.
And so anyway, I'm just very grateful for my family. We have a lot of fun. Molly, the horse, she just loves horses and they love her. Kimber is an athlete. She likes to play basketball, golf, whatever's going.
Oh, golfer.
So
There I'm with you.
so that's all I have to say about that.
Well, what's your husband's name? Tell him.
Oh, my husband. My husband does not enjoy travel. And so he is staying at home taking care of the livestock, which is 1 horse and 1 dog. You can find excuse for anything. So anyway, his name is Greg. And the reason he's not too much into travel, he was born and raised in the bottom of Hell's Canyon as a sheep rancher. Also a pilot, he flew bush planes in and out of the river. We landed all over the ridges in Hell's Canyon. And so he's not really thinking that the flying industry is nearly as safe as he was, so he doesn't like to go. But he's a great guy and supports us all, goes to every basketball game, every horse thing, whatever. So now I do have a husband.
Okay.
I'm Brett, 3 years younger. Most of my memories are working in the rain in Eastern Oregon. And the rest of my life I've been working in the rain in Western Oregon. we had 2 boys between us, and then her stepdaughter, beautiful stepdaughter. My stepdaughter. And all we did was put tarps on the roof and put wood in the house and then clean up after the wood. Is there much more to go on beyond that?
We've been really busy with that. Maintaining a life. And,
That's it.
Brett's a commercial fisherman. You probably know that. We have a boat for fishing.
1 boat.
And any questions?
Our oldest,
I don't know.
our oldest son is named after Wade Allgood.
Oh, and Collier, because his middle name is Collier. Isn't that awesome? Correct.
He's the primary captain on the boat. No.
Yeah. So what else? This is my 2nd time to Scottsdale, and I love the air. It's so fresh and warm. And I love all you lovely
And it's
people
like
that
this
are.
all year round.
Hey, thank you.
That's why we live here.
Yeah.
For staying together as a family.
Yeah.
Way to go. Family is the most important thing, and I really appreciate this and being a part of it.
Can I say something here?
Uh-oh.
That one right there, you got a good one.
Oh, who are you pointing at? We'll take it. We'll all take it.
Yeah, you're not too bad either.
I know. You had to say that, Sally.
Well, the last time you came to this part of the world,
I can't find Barbara's letter. Where's Barbara's letter?
Yeah.
I was so excited to see Gail. I hadn't seen her in 20 years at least.
I know.
She's a favorite. Yep, she's a favorite.
And she keeps telling me all about this strawberry jam and all the stuff. And I don't know how to do any of that anymore.
Oh.
So I just let her.
She does it. She's a full Monty jammer.
Having nothing to do with music. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Okay, so I'm a stand-in for Barbara and for Wood. He was the next brother, and so this is from Barbara Hearn to y'all. Hi, you all. The 21st century whittled down a good part of our amazing family and added to it on the other end. My sister Margie died in Flagstaff in 2000. My dad died in 2011, and Mom succumbed in 2021. She was 101. You know that?
She was
Last of that generation. My son, William Reed Bronson, was born in 1982. He now lives in Bedford, New Hampshire, and works as an optical engineer. He's married to Carrie, and they have two darling kiddos, Jacoby Reed, who's age 4, and Ellie Mae, 2. Carrie brought her son from a previous marriage, Nate, who was 16, into their fun and crazy household. 3 grandkids for this lucky Grammy. My sister's kids, Kate and Ben, live in Las Vegas, as does their dad, Ron Skoma. Pretty sure Ron has given up on grandchildren, but they all seem content and working and playing hard. This nutty cousin has been on her own since I left Will's dad, Bronson, in 2003. I moved from Morenci back to Phoenix, thinking I might be able to help out my folks. I've always worked and have had way too many jobs to mention. Found the most satisfaction as a teacher's aide and as a fire lookout when school was out. There seems to be a peace I find in the woods, food for the soul. As of August 21, I left Arizona after my son's continuous begging, and now live in a condo in Bedford. It was a rocky transition at first, but I am nothing if not a tough old dame. Got my fishing license just before the season ended last year. I know that's a step in the right direction. Love you all, and I will be toasting with you from out east and sending permanent smiles your way. Always and always, Barbara.
Hey Bonnie, I've got a story that Worth told me.
Okay.
I only met him a couple of times.
Can I just
Go right ahead.
You go ahead.
just real quick?
Yeah.
Barbara and Marianne and I would meet at a restaurant, and that would be our treat for the month. And Barbara always was the joker of the 3 of us. I don't know, you did pretty good too, cousin. And I'll leave it with this. Barbara Hearn is a brave, brave woman. And she believes the way it is the way it is. She doesn't gripe, she just goes and does it. And that's the story, folks.
Yes, she's beautiful. Beautiful person. Okay, we are at the youngest, but not the least.
Wait, John wanted to.
Oh, John, sorry.
I was just gonna tell the story that
Oh, yeah.
Worth told me. I only talked to him a couple times before he died. And you guys may have to help me fill in some of the details because my memory's a little hazy, but he was in the car business and he worked at a big dealership. And, say again?
Don Sanderson.
Okay, and he told me that he was there one day when Frank Lloyd Wright came in to buy a station wagon. Have you heard this story?
No.
So he said that one of the salesmen was making the deal, and as Frank Lloyd Wright and his wife were on the way out the door, they just kind of waved and said, "Send us a bill. We'll pay by check when we get your invoice." And Reed went and grabbed the salesman by the ear and said, "I'm sorry, Worth." He said, "Do not give that guy the keys. Do not let him leave this lot until he writes us a check," because he apparently was notorious for saying, "Send me a bill," and never paying for it. Wow. That story always stuck with me, and he told it with a twinkle in his eye. That was pretty funny.
Okay, the last one, and I'm hoping that Reed can fill us in on his siblings as well as you talk.
Well, first of all, I'm Reed, and the youngest of my siblings.
And the youngest cousin?
And my father was the youngest of his siblings. I know that my father, I mean, his family was everything to him. You know, he was raised pretty much by his brothers, Worth and Walter, because their father, Collier, died when he was very young. So I mean, he really always looked up to his brothers as they were just, they couldn't do no wrong. And he married my mother. My mother, first of all, Thera, she got married when she was 16 and had 3 kids right off the bat. And so by the time my father met her, she, you know, had all my siblings. And he adopted them and raised us all, I mean, exactly the same as if they were his children from day one, never treated me any differently than them. They might beg to differ, but I know it's true. My brothers and sisters all have had very interesting lives. Their stories are really their own to tell. I mean, it's really a lot.
Where's Mike right now? Because he was going to come, but he just started a new job, so he couldn't.
Michael lives right now in Fort Mojave. He just moved from Tennessee, where his son lives. They have big property in Tennessee, and there's sort of an ongoing battle with the owners of the land and whatever. So for the time being, he's out here living with an ex-wife who is with another man, but they have another outbuilding, and his former mother-in-law is older and needs care, and he has a lot of experience in doing this from what his job was in Missouri before he moved to Tennessee. So that's where he is now, and that's what he's doing, and he's kind of starting over. And I haven't seen him in a long time, but I'm really looking forward to seeing him soon for a good long visit. Sherry lives in Mesa, and her daughter Karen also lives in Mesa. She has 5 grandchildren, and they're all doing wonderfully. Let's see.
I did see Reed. I did see Sherry.
Sherry?
Yeah, I saw her.
Yeah, she's been sick for the last year or so. She's recovering from heart problems, and she's been on oxygen. It's been a tough go for her, but she's doing really a lot better right now. And she wanted to come, but it would have been an ordeal. She's proud. Candy, who's the oldest, lives in Texas still, and she's in memory care, but like happier than ever. She was always like a really cheerful person, and more so now than ever. So like, who can complain about that? And Roger is Well, I don't know where he went. He's over here talking to Gail's daughters. I've been with him for 40 years. We met in San Francisco and lived there for 30 years. And then when my parents were older and, you know, getting on, I moved back here to be closer to them, and then I've stayed here since.
I saw you attend.
Well, everybody, I think this is a remarkable family. I hope you all continue to visit and get to know each other better, right? And if everybody does have something to drink, why, let's do a little last, make sure we're doing a toast to my brother Jack. He would not be here, and believe me, he would be so thrilled to recognize that he was the one that brought us all together. So this is to Jack. To Jack.
To Sylvia.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to
To
Sylvia.
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 For taking care of Jack all those wonderful, all those years. Thank you. Okay, have fun, guys.
Do you all know the Maoris? Does that name sound familiar?
Yes, that name's
Becky Mowry sent me a message and said the Scottsdale Old Timers reunion will be tomorrow at El Dorado. It's probably going to be the last one they're going to put on.
Sunday?
On Sunday, yep. And
Labula?
Labula's daughter.
Huh?
Labula's daughter. Yeah. If anybody's interested, I have the information. I printed it out and I'll give it to you. Just let me know.
And Kitty Cook, I don't know if you all remember,